Good morning to everyone. Next continuation, worked out examples. Example 1. Show that the function f of z equal to sin x into cos hy plus I into cos x sin hy is continuous as well as analytic everywhere. Solution. Given f of z equal to sin x into cos hy plus I into cos x into sin hy. Compare this function with u of x comma y plus I into v of x comma y. So, real part equal to real part. So, u of x comma y is sin x into cos hy. Imaginary part equal to imaginary part. So, v of x comma y is cos x into sin hy. Observe here sin x, u and v are both rational functions of x and y having non-zero denominators for all values of x and y. That means if you substitute x equal to 30 degrees, y equal to 45 degrees like this, then you are going to get rational functions. That's why therefore u and v are both continuous functions everywhere. And also we have one thing, observe, here we have trigonometric functions. You can easily say that trigonometric functions are continuous functions. Hence, f of z is continuous everywhere. Here u and v are continuous means f is formed by using u and v only. That's why f is also continuous everywhere. Now, I am going to find out partial derivatives of u with respect to x, partial derivative of u with respect to y, partial derivative of v with respect to x, partial derivative of v with respect to y. Observe, here u equal to sin x into cos hy. So, we are doing with respect to x means cos hy constant, sin x differentiation is cos x. Next we are going to do partial differentiation with respect to y. That means sin x constant, cos hy differentiation is sin hy. Next v, here v is cos x into sin hy. So v is cos x into sin hy. So with respect to x means sin hy constant, cos x differentiation is minus sin x. So, rearranging, you are going to get minus sin x into sin hy. So, partial differentiation with respect to y. That means cos x is constant, sin hy differentiation is cos hy. Observe the quantities. We can easily say that dou u by dou x is equal to dou u by dou y. Dou u by dou y equal to minus dou v by dou x. These two are Cauchy-Riemann equations. That means u and v satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equation. So, f of z is analytic everywhere. Observe, in this question, first we say that f of z is continuous. After that, Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied by u and v. By using these two concepts, we can easily say that f of z is analytic everywhere. Now, I am focusing on example 2. So, show that f of z equal to xy plus iy is everywhere continuous but is not analytic. So, this is continuous function only but it is not analytic. So, observe solution. Given f of z equal to f of y plus iy, here also compare real part with u of x comma y, imaginary part is compare with v of x comma y. So, u of x comma y equal to xy, v of x comma y equal to y. Observe, u and v are polynomials in x and y. You know that polynomial functions are continuous functions. That's why u and v are continuous functions. F of z is formed by the combination of u and v only. Therefore, f of z is also continuous everywhere. So here u equal to xy, v equal to y. So now I am going to do partial derivatives. Dou u by dou x means y constant for x 1. 1 into y is y. Dou u by dou y means x constant for y 1. X into 1 is x. Dou v by dou x. Observe here no x terms, that's why 0. Dou v by dou y equal to 1 because differentiation of y with respect to y is 1 only. Here you can observe the partial derivatives does not satisfying these conditions. That's why therefore u and v are not satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations. Therefore f of z is not analytic. Whenever f of z is analytic, first one f of z is continuous and u and v satisfies Cauchy-Riemann equations. In this question what happened? F of z is continuous but u and v does not satisfying Cauchy-Riemann equations. Therefore it is not an analytic function. Next question. Example 3. Show that the function f of z equal to x cubed into 1 plus I minus y cubed into 1 minus I by x square plus y square. This is when means z not equal to 0. Here z is there. Equal to 0 for z equal to 0 is continuous. So first of all we want to show that this function is continuous and that Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied at the origin, yet f dash of 0 does not exist. So Cauchy-Riemann equations satisfy at the origin only, but f dash of 0 does not exist. So solution. Here I am writing f of z equal to real part separate, imaginary part separate. Observe 1 into x cube is x cube, minus y cube into y 1 is minus y cube. Denominator as it is. I am keeping here because I is common in I into x cube and I into y cube. Minus into minus is plus. Okay. So denominator as it is. Take this as u of x comma y, this as v of x comma y. Here u and v are rational functions. Rational functions means quotient numbers of x and y with non-zero denominators. Observe here denominators are squares. That means even though you have negative term as x minus 2 whole square is 4 only. So you are going to get positive term. Positive term plus positive term means it is not equal to 0. That's why u is having non-zero denominator, v is also having non-zero denominator. Therefore u and v are continuous functions when z not equal to 0. Why z not equal to 0 means f of z definition is like this for z not equal to 0. Next, to test the continuity at z equal to 0, changing u and v to polar coordinates by putting x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. Now I am going to change u and v into polar coordinates. Observe, we have u equal to x cubed minus y cubed by x square plus y square. Substitute x as r cos theta, y as r sin theta. Observe in the numerator and denominator. Observe in the numerator r cube is common, in the denominator r square is common. R cube by r square is r only. So here you can observe this term value equal to 1. That's why you are not going to get any denominator. In v also you take the same substitution, that is x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. Again take r cube common in the numerator, r square in the denominator, cancel, then you are going to get 1, or this term again equal to 1. This will be the remaining term, each of which tends to 0. That means the value of u and v tends to 0 as r tends to 0, because 0 into anything equal to 0, 0 into anything equal to 0, whatever may be the value of theta. That means theta, if we take any theta value, it will not affected. If r tends to 0 means u and v both tends to 0. Also we have f of 0 equal to 0. How? In the definition of f of z only, if z equal to 0, f of z equal to 0. By using that condition, I am going to write f of 0 equal to 0. Since actual and limiting values of u and v are same at the origin. So f of 0 equal to 0 means this 0 can be written as f of 0 equal to 0 means 0 can be written as 0 plus I0. So this is u value, this is v value. So observe, these two are actual values of u and v when z equal to 0. Here also what I explained, whenever r tends to 0, u and v both are tends to 0. That means whenever r tends to 0, u and v tends to 0 means these are limiting values. Observe now the sentence, since actual and limiting values of u and v are same at origin. Why I am saying origin means here we are taking z equal to 0. Therefore, f of z is continuous at origin. Whenever actual and limiting values of u and v are same, then we can easily say that f of z is continuous at the origin. So here f of z is continuous particularly at origin. Previously, here f of z is continuous when z not equal to 0. By combining both statements, we can easily say that f of z is continuous for all values of z. Now at the origin we have dou u by dou x equal to, this is the definition of partial differentiation of u with respect to x at origin. So here you can observe origin is there, x with respect to x, y no change, that means 0 0, only x values, x here 0 here, divided by x, u of x comma 0. Now we want to find out u of x comma 0. So u of x comma y equal to x cubed plus y cubed by x square plus y square. So u of x comma 0 means y is 0. So x cubed by x square. X cubed x square get cancelled, then you are going to get x. So u of x comma 0 is x minus u of 0 0. U of 0 0 means 0 only. Y means here we know already. Okay. U value at the origin is 0 divided by x. So x by x is 1. The limit of a constant is itself. Similarly, dou u by dou y, observe here x values are zeros, y is y to 0. So y is varying, divided by y. Similarly, like this, you can calculate u of 0 comma y, then you are going to get minus y. Already u of 0 0 is 0 only, divided by y. Minus y by y means minus 1. Limit of minus 1 is minus 1 only. Here you can take y tends to 0. Here also y tends to 0. Okay. Dou v by dou x is also calculated like that. Then you are going to get 1. Dou v by dou y is also calculate. You are going to get 1. Observe here. Dou u by dou x is 1. Dou v by dou y is 1. So those two are equal. And also dou u by dou y equal to minus dou v by dou x. So CR equations are satisfied at the origin. Next, now we want to find out f dash of z at 0. So this is the formula to find out f dash of 0. So observe f of 0 is already we know 0. That's why f of z is, this is the given value divided by 1 by z. Divided by z is nothing but 1 by z. So the value of z is x plus iy. Take z tends to 0 along y equal to x. We get f dash of 0. Replace y equal to x. So x cubed minus x cubed is 0. X cubed plus x cubed is 2x cubed. I here x square plus x square is 2x square. 1 plus x plus ix. So observe here 2 get cancelled. Here x cubed by x square is x. Take x common, cancel with that x. Then you are going to get I by 1 plus I. Now see, here we have I by 1 plus I. Multiply and divide with 1 plus I by 1 plus I. I into 1 plus I as it is. 1 plus I into 1 plus I whole is 1 plus I whole square. That is a square is 1. I square is minus 1. 2ab means 2i. Plus 1 minus 1 get cancelled. Then you are going to get this expression. Here I and I get cancelled. Then you are going to get 1 by 2 into 1 plus I. Again taking z tends to 0 along x-axis. That means here we are taking two different paths. One is y equal to x, another is along x-axis. So along x-axis means the value of y equal to 0. So limit x tends to 0, x cubed I into x cubed divided by x square 1 by x. So x cubed cancel with common x cube. That means we are taking x cubed common in the numerator. That x cubed cancel with the value x cubed in the denominator. So we are going to get 1 plus I. Observe here along the path y equal to x, f dash of 0 is this one. Along x-axis, f dash of 0 is 1 plus I. That means these two values are different. That means f dash of 0 has different values along different curves. Therefore, f dash of 0 is not unique. That means f dash of 0 does not exist. Next question. Show that the function f of z equal to e power minus z power minus 4. Z not equal to 0. Whenever this one z not equal to 0. Here whenever z equal to 0, f of 0 is 0. Is not analytic at z equal to 0. Although the Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied at that point. So what we want to show that it is not analytic but it satisfies Cauchy-Riemann equations. So observe here f of z equal to e power minus z power minus 4. We know the value of z, that is x plus I y. Z power minus 4 is nothing but 1 by z power 4. Replace x value, that is x plus iy whole power 4. Substitute here. This minus sign comes as it is. Here I am going to multiply and divide with x minus I whole power 4. Then numerator as it is. Observe the denominator. This can be written as x plus iy into x minus iy whole power 4. That means a plus b into a minus b. So a square minus b square. A square means x square. Iy whole square means I square means minus 1 minus into y square. So observe x square minus iy whole square. So x square minus y square, because I square is minus 1. Minus 1 into y square is minus y square. This is x square plus y square. That's why in the denominator we are going to get x square plus y square whole power 4. So next observe here I am writing x square plus y square equal to r square. Actually observe z equal to x plus iy. So modulus of z equal to root of x square plus y square. So I am taking this as r. R square means root get cancel, x square plus y square. Here we have x square plus y square, replace r square. R square whole power 4 means r power 8, r power 8. Next I am going to expand x minus iy whole power 4 formula by using binomial theorem. Then I am going to get this as real part, this as imaginary part. So I am splitting, that means e power of I am going this as one fraction only, but to write imaginary part separate, real part separate, I am going to write like this. Here I am getting this numerator by using the formula x a minus b whole power 4 formula. So real part as it is. Observe e power I into some fraction is there. We know that fraction is this one only. E power I theta equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. That's why I am writing like this. We have at the origin, this is the formula which I already told to you. So you know this formula. Limit x tends to 0 as it is. Here u of x comma 0, that means real part. Here real part means this term into this term. Imaginary part means this term into this term, that means sin of. Okay, here we need u of x comma 0. So substitute y equal to 0. So y equal to 0 means 0, 0. So e power minus x power 4. Observe u of 0 x comma 0. X comma 0 means, so here this is your u value. So e power minus as it is. By substituting y equal to 0, these two terms vanishes. So x power 4 by r power 8 into cos 0 you are going to get. Cos 0 is 1 only. So r power 8 you know that is r square whole power 4. R square is x square plus y square whole power 4. While substituting y equal to 0, this becomes x square power 4, that is x power 8. That means the value of r power 8 is x power 8. So u of x comma 0 equal to e power minus x power 4 by x power 8. That means e power minus x power minus 4. This 8 goes to numerator as 4 minus 8. 4 minus 8 is minus 4 only. That's why you are going to get this step. U of 0 comma 0. So that means e power 0 is so now we are going to substitute x as 0, y as 0. Then you are going to get e power minus 0 by 0. So that is 0 by. So once again here I need some correction. So u of 0 comma 0 is 0 only because f of 0 comma 0 is 0. I already told to you f of 0 equal to 0 means this 0 can be written as 0 plus I0. Compare this with u plus iv. That means whenever x 0, y 0 means u value 0. That's why u value at 0, 0 is 0 only. So here minus is there. X power minus 1 can be written as 1 by x like this. This e power minus x power minus 4 can be written as 1 by x into e power 1 by x power 4. So I am keeping 1 by x outside. Here I am taking e power x expansion, that is 1 plus x plus 1 by 2 into 1 x square. X square means power square, that is 1 by x power 8. So e power x expansion is 1 plus x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus dash dash. Here x is 1 by x power 4. So here you are going to get 1 by x power 4. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 only. X square means the square of this one. So 1 by x power 8 plus dash dash. Multiply with x, then you are going to get this term. So now I am replacing x with 0. So here 0. Here 1 by 0 is infinity. 1 by 0 is infinity. So finally in the denominator you have infinity. 1 by infinity is 0. Similarly, I am going to find out dou u by dou y. Then I will reach the same expression, but in terms of y, the answer is 0. Therefore, similarly, dou v by dou x is 0. Dou v by dou y also 0. So, but for doing this one, we want to consider v as this term into sine, because this is only imaginary part. So next one, therefore all are zeros means CR equations are satisfied at the origin. So f dash of z equal to, this is the formula. Here f of z is e power minus z power minus 4. F of 0 is 0, z as it is. But z equal to, observe here I am taking the path z equal to r into e power I pi divided by 4. So replace r power minus 4 we are going to get as it is. Here 4 get cancelled. Then e power minus I pi, this minus sign we are going to get here. So e power minus I pi value we need, that is cos pi minus I sin pi. This is the value of e power minus I pi. But we know that cos pi is minus 1, sin pi is 0. So we are going to get minus 1. So minus 1 into minus r power minus 1 into minus r power minus 4 is r power minus 4 only. Again r power minus 4 can be written as 1 by r power 4. This denominator as it is. This is z value only. This value tends to 0 infinity as r tends to 0. Why means here r value 0 means anything by 0 means infinity. Here you can observe z tends to 0 means r tends to 0. Observe the value of z goes to 0 whenever r tends to 0. So this value is finite value. This value can never become 0. That means z0 means z tends to 0 means r tends to 0. That's why limit changed as r tends to 0. So observe along this path f dash of z value is infinity. That means f dash of z is not differentiable. Therefore f of z is not analytic at z equal to 0. So once again observe here what we are going to show. That means observe here CR equations are satisfied at the origin but the function is not analytic. What is the reason means maybe it is not continuous function. In the above example illustrate that CR equations are not sufficient condition for f of z to be analytic. F of z to be analytic means the function must be continuous and also CR equations satisfy. Next question. For what values of z the function w defined by z equal to e power minus v cos u plus I sin u where w equal to u plus iv ceases to be analytic. Ceases means stops, means where it is not analytic. So observe here given function is this one. Dou z by dou w can be written as dou z by dou u into dou u by dou w. Observe here some changes are there. You can change these changes because here I am first in steady material I have written the here partial differentiation, but it is not partial differentiation, it is differentiation. So you can change all the steps here. We have dz by dw equal to dou z by dou u. So this is by using your first semester syllabus. So dz by dw equal to, now I am going to do partial differentiation of this term z with respect to u. Whenever I am doing partial differentiation, e power minus v outside because it is constant. Now I am doing cos u differentiation. Cos u differentiation is minus sin u, but minus can be written as I square. That's why I square sin u. Here I as it is, sin u differentiation as cos u. Observe here and here I common, take I common. After that here we have cos u only plus I into sin u. Observe this is Iz. Okay. But I need, here I find dz by dw. But I need dw by dz. So reciprocate this one. 1 by Iz. For w to be analytic function, dw by dz should be finite. So if that means w is analytic function whenever dw by dz is finite. Here we want ceases to be analytic. That's why this value becomes infinity. When this value becomes infinity means whenever z equal to 0, 0 into anything 0. 1 by 0 is infinity. That means when z equal to 0, w ceases to be analytic. Next question also, you can change in steady material. Observe for what values of z to do the function w defined by z equal to like this, where w equal to u plus iv ceases to be analytic. Here also dz by dw we need. So dz by dw value equal to dou z by dou u. So here I am doing partial differentiation with respect to u. Cos v constant, sin hu becomes cos hu, I as it is. Here we are doing with respect to u, that's why sin v constant, cos hu is sin hu. So now I am going to find out z square. Z square means, here we take square means, here also we want to take whole square. Observe, a square, b square plus 2ab term this one. Here you can observe this is as it is. I square value is minus 1. This term also as it is. But by using the fundamental formulas of hyperbolic functions, sin h square u can be written as cos h square u minus 1. Similarly, cos h square u can be written as 1 plus sin h square u. So remaining as it is. Now I am going to multiplying, then we are going to get this step. Here I am writing this as whole square, this also whole square. Here I am taking in these two terms minus common. This term as it is. Again this term equal to 1, that's why minus 1. Observe the remaining terms a square minus b square plus 2ab. That means here I am writing this minus sign as I square plus I square. Observe here we have minus 1. This minus sign, minus 1 is there. That minus 1 means I square only. I write I here whole square. So this is a square, this is b square, this is 2ab term. So this is a plus b whole square minus 1 as it is. But this is nothing but dou z by dou u whole square minus 1. So this is the value of z square. So this minus 1 goes to this side as plus 1. So dz by dw whole square is this one. Taking square root on both sides, then dz by dw equal to plus or minus root of z square plus 1. Now reciprocate, dw by dz equal to plus or minus 1 by root of z square plus 1. So w to be analytic function whenever this value is finite. W is not analytic function whenever this is infinite. How we are going to get infinite value here? Whenever denominator becomes 0. That's why z square plus 1 equal to 0. Z square equal to minus 1. Z equal to plus or minus I. Observe, whenever z equal to plus or minus I, then W ceases to be analytic.